Hey Fortnite mobile players! On today's video, I'm going to walk you through one of my recent rounds and discuss the step-by-step actions that I took to get a double-digit frag victory royale. Here we go. As I spoke about in my previous videos, when I get to Spawn Island, the first thing I do is look at the location of the bus route, and I determine a landing spot. For this run, I'll be landing at Viking Village since it's so close to the beginning. As soon as I jump off, I immediately double tap to initiate an auto run and dive as fast as I can. As I'm landing in Viking Village, I'm keeping an eye out for any guns, and I do my best to land on a gun so I'm armed immediately. I immediately grab all the materials and search the rest of the boat, trying to get any weapons that I can find. As I'm looking around, I notice that there's footsteps all around me, and now that I have a couple of guns, I'm ready to engage. I find one and immediately take him out with my SMG. That enemy was engaged with somebody else, so I quickly look for a way to flank that enemy. I decide to go around the building is the best bet. Once I see him, I use my SMG to do some damage and take him out too. Normally when you've taken damage, you want to heal up immediately, but in this case, the medkit would take several seconds for me to heal, and since it's still the beginning of the game, finding shields and weapons is more important. I notice there's more footsteps again, so I want to go around and try and surprise that enemy too. I quickly attack the ramp and start to go up. I spot the enemy behind the rock, so I know I have the advantage. He runs, I chase, and use my SMG and pistols to finish him off. Since there's no more footsteps around, I know it's time to heal. I place a wall and a triangle building above me and use my medkit to heal up. While I'm doing that, I'm searching around for inventory. I find balloons and a sniper rifle. After that, I focus on inventory management, starting with my close range weapon, my medium range weapon, my long range weapon, and I look for any shields that I can find. I also make sure I always have balloons in my fourth slot, which are wonderful for mobility throughout the game. Once my harvesting's done, you'll notice I have a short range gun, a medium range gun, and a long range gun, which in this case is a heavy sniper, which is my favorite long range weapon. I also carried 10 balloons to restock then, and I did not find any spare shields. Normally I would like to keep spare shields in my final slot, but I'm already at 100, so that's okay for right now. I'm just trying to now jump towards the storm, keeping an eye on the map, trying to go towards the center, as well as keeping an eye out for enemies as well as shields. Great thing about balloons is you get the height advantage, so it's very easy to look around and look for enemies. I did not find any here, so all I do is gather a couple of materials, pick up a launch pad. At the end of the boat here, there is a present. So I take the present, quickly open it up around myself, notice inside that there is an upgrade for my shotgun, and quickly take that, dump my other one, and now I have a better short range, my medium range, my long range, and I take the grappling hook for a good measure, but the primary mode of transportation for me is going to be balloons. At this point of the battle, all I'm doing is looking for materials, trying to find a slurp juice or some kind of health. I do find one, but I do notice that the storm is coming, so with my 2 balloons, I'm just running and jumping and trying to get into the middle of the action and out of the storm. Once I'm out of the storm, I take the slurp juice just to recover the health that I lost in the storm. Not a big deal. I do have 2 balloons and I do see noise ahead of me. I get out my heavy sniper, notice there is somebody standing in the building there. He eventually does stand still and I take him out with a quick shot. Now I'm going to go loot him because I'm hoping that he has some kind of shield to put in my final slot there. I do notice that he has a medkit, which I do take initially, but then I quickly swap that out for the minis, which are my favorite thing to carry. And I get my heavy sniper out again, put my second balloon on, and look for the enemies that are nearby. I do have full health here, so I am in a great position to attack with my heavy, with my double balloons, and with my full health. I have trouble locating him, but as soon as I find him, I do try and get in on him and take a shot. I miss, jump in the air, reload, aim for another shot, miss again, just barely. But his attention is focused elsewhere, so this should be an easy elimination for me. Jump up, final shot, headshot, 375, take him out, up to 5 kills. I did notice that he was fighting somebody else, but that person is in the distance. I have trouble locating them. Once I see him drop down, I do try and take a quick shot at him, but miss. Remember, with heavy snipers, you just need to get close, but it's a little bit of a matter of luck. Just try and do your best to get a good aim in and then get going. At this point, I do notice that the storm is ticking down and I'm having troubles finding this enemy. So rather than try and engage, I want to get closer to the middle of the action and don't want to get caught in that storm again. Since I don't have any health recovery, that enemy will have to meet me in the middle at some point. So I focus my attention on using my balloons to get back into the middle of the game. At this point, I'm just bouncing along, trying to get into the center of the circle, while looking back occasionally just to make sure that nobody is going to flank me from behind. As I'm jumping along, I do notice that there are some items on the ground, in which case that means there was a fight nearby. I do take my gun out just in case somebody's going to come, but I add another mini. I switch out to a heavy, and I notice a lot more action. So I'm looking for this enemy that I know is got to be nearby. I use my balloons to get up close. I have a great shot to take this guy out because he's below me. Aim, and just barely miss. Switch over to my heavy assault rifle. Try and shoot him in the air, but it's very hard to be accurate. He gets a hit on me, which means my attention immediately focuses on building and healing. I notice that my bio is getting taken down, and as I try and jump away, I get caught in this tree. Some of my balloons go down, and I notice I'm in a little bit of trouble. So, rather than try and fight him on, I try and reset the fight, use my balloons, heal in the air, reload my heavy sniper, and try and come around and flank him. Now that he is around me, I do see that he's in the same spot. He's building. I should be able to reflank him because he doesn't know where I am. Take a shot, miss, reload, jump again, take a better shot, got him with a little side pot. Now he's weak. I switch over to my heavy. I should just be able to one-hit him and get him down. He does try building towards me. I use my balloons and switch to my short-range weapon, take a couple of shots, and I get lucky with my third shot. He's done. Now it's time to harvest him. Although his materials did slide backwards on his slide into the storm, I don't really have a huge need for it, but I do want to heal up and make sure that I'm safe in doing so. Build a quick one-by, pop 2 of my minis, re-inflate 1 of my balloons, and reload all of my weapons. Now it's time to go hunting again. I think that there's going to be an enemy nearby. I did see footsteps before, but I'm in an ideal spot to take him on now. Always trying to keep my distance, since with the heavy sniper, the best fight for you to take would be a long range one. See him behind me, take a quick shot. Can't believe I miss. He's shooting at me. Take another shot, get the height advantage. Just barely miss. Switch over to my medium range gun, get a couple of hits on him in. Now we're really close. Switch over to my short range gun, get a shot, get another shot, and I eliminate him with my medium. The storm is coming, so I do not have time to loot him, unfortunately. I'm going to run, jump, and pop my minis in the air. Again, balloons are amazing for mobility. While that's happening, I'm reloading all of my guns. I'm pretty happy with my inventory here, and it's just about getting in to where the storm won't hurt me and having full reloaded guns so that I'll be ready to take on whoever comes my way next. Now I'm just looking around, using my balloons, hopping, trying to keep my distance, trying to find a long range fight to take on. Planes are usually a good source of people, so always good to check those. And when you jump up in the air, you should get a wide range view, especially at the end of the game. It's relatively easy to find people. I do see somebody in the distance. Get up on the hill, try and take him. I notice that he's running to my right. I figure he's going to stop. He doesn't. I lead him and get lucky with a great shot. 375. Get another elimination. I'm up to 8. As I'm looting him, I drop one balloon to get me down faster. I want a better short and medium range gun. I'm going to ditch my pump in favor of the thermal, because the thermal is wonderful for finding people, and I have a pretty ideal setup right now. Put a second balloon on to get the height advantage, and I saw a guy in the distance shooting. There's obviously somebody in the plane. Take a couple shots at the plane. He ditches. He's in my line of sight. I have my scar. He's clearly a bad player, doesn't know what he's doing, and I have no trouble getting him down and eliminating him. The trouble with balloons is they can sometimes obstruct your view, so it's a good idea to use the aim feature. Now I pick up a little bit more weaponry, keep my weapons the same, build a quick little boost trap down just in case, take my slurp, and I'm ready to start healing. My fort's taking damage, so I'm jumping. I notice it's long range damage, so I don't need to be extremely concerned just yet. Build whatever I can just in the meantime to get away. Pop my second balloon on, and I start hunting with my heavy sniper. Waiting for him, and then I get hit from the side. I immediately switch to disaster recovery mode. I need to take healing as quickly as possible. I try and take my slurp, but it's not yet ready since my first slurp didn't finish. So this is a tough spot for me. I just want to float away, do whatever I can to get out of their line of fire, put as much distance between them and me as I can while I have time to take my second slurp, jump in the air and do so. Switch over, my health's getting better, and I use my thermal to find these enemies. A couple quick hits on him. He's weak. I'm going to push him. The other guy's in the distance. There's two guys left, so going on the offensive here makes sense. I switch over, trying to find him. Again, I have two long-range weapons here, always trying to keep the fight as a long-range battle. Notice he's confused, he thinks I'm ahead of him. Again, the power of balloons. Quick, easy shot, get my second elimination. By now, my health continues to recover, and it's just me versus this one last guy who has yet to engage in a fight. I think I can take him on aggressively. Go to the high ground, build a little bit, search for him, out in the open, of course. Take a couple of shots on him. He builds a 1x. My gun is not strong enough to break his down, so I do reload. Figured there's no danger. It's me and him. Switch over to my heavy, hoping for a one-shot. Try and get a better advantage with my balloons. Poke his head out, poke his head out, poke his head out. Come on, do it. He's shooting down my fort. He's out. One shot with the heavy. Get a bunch of damage to him. Switch over to my thermal. One shot and I win. And there's my victory royale. As you can see, there were a few key tactics that I used to get an 11 elimination victory royale. First, I was always managing my inventory for the optimal setup. Second, I prioritized healing as soon as it was safe. Third, I used balloons to ensure that I was always fighting at the optimal distance. Fourth, I was aggressive when I had the advantage. And sought safety when I didn't. If you can learn to master these simple tactics in your own game, then you'll be well on your way to achieving your first victory royale. If you found this video to be helpful, then give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you'll be the first to know when we publish new content. See you in the next video.